Let me jump to the story from the New York Times. Alaska's voters will try out changes to primary and special elections. So they've got ranked choice voting. And, they say voters in Alaska on Tuesday will test for the first time a new ranked choice system for a general election in a special race for the state's single House seat. And they will take part in the state's new open primary system, which was first deployed during a special House primary in June. That combination right there sounds like let's put it this way.
We're not changing the elections. We're making it better.
They changed the rules. Open primaries, I think, are bad. I used to not understand why it mattered. Now I totally get it. Because Democrats can vote in the Republican primary to sabotage the Republican Party so that when it comes to the general, nobody wants to vote for the Republican. Like if the Democrats vote for Liz Cheney and she ends up winning, Republicans are going to be like, whatever. And then a Democrat wins Wyoming. That'd be crazy. Now we have ranked choice voting. I've been a fan of it for a while. But one thing interesting that comes up with the way they're doing it now to consider, it is widely believed, or actually Jack was mentioning it just before the show, that this is going to help Murkowski maintain her seat. Do you want to explain?
Right. Because in ranked choice voting, if someone doesn't break the threshold, then they start counting the second choice votes. And so this will end up, so if all of your MAGA vote, for example, is targeted to one candidate, and then they're never going to say the establishment candidate as number two, you will always see Democrats or soft conservatives, soft Republicans, your one of fours or even your four of fours who are more establishment types, they will put Murkowski as their second choice. So she'll pick up a wider swath of voters. Meanwhile, a MAGA conservative is never going to say they want a Democrat as their second choice.
But we're in a primary right now, so people aren't voting for Democrat; they're voting for just the Republicans. Wouldn't they just be more likely?
Does it only apply to the primary?
Well, no. But so here's my point. For now, wouldn't more people be like, okay, well, this candidate's not likely going to win, but they're my first pick, and then I guess if I had to take Murkowski as my fifth choice, I would. And I feel like in a primary, it's open primary, which is the biggest risk.
Right.
If you do ranked choice voting, yeah, you're going to get all the populists being like, man, I really would prefer this guy right here. They might think he's not going to win, so I can't vote for him. With ranked choice voting, they'll be like, yeah, I'll give him my first choice.
And look, Project Veritas and R.C. Maxwell, the great journalist over there, did a whole piece on this, how it was Murkowski staffers that actually left her campaign and then stood up this other organization to push through ranked choice voting because she, as a candidate, right, couldn't directly get behind it. And then after it went in, they went back to the campaign.
So the idea is in the general election, what'll happen is Republicans will say, I guess I'll vote for Murkowski, and my second choice are going to be these other, candidates, write-ins, or maybe, MAGA people. But the Democrats will put Murkowski as their fifth choice.
Right.
So when all of their people lose, if Murkowski's in the lead, she's going to get all the Democrat votes along with the establishment votes. So it makes it impossible for the Republicans to get in populists, basically.
Look, and I've said this before, and I don't think Yang has it right. If you're going to start a third party, a real third party in this country, you have to do it within the party structure that's already existing. And there is a third party in this country, and it's called MAGA. That is a third party. It just happens to be inside the Republican Party.
Yeah. I mean, you've got the left Bernie party or whatever inside the Democrat Party.
And one of the things that's happening across the country in the Republican Party is there are so many new people getting involved. Homemakers and small business people that are deciding.
Precinct Project.
The Precinct Project, that's absolutely right. And small groups picking up Patriot Moms, Voices of Washington County or Voices of this county. People are getting involved and they are going to school board meetings, but many are deciding to run for these obscure offices because they all matter. And that's the building block of that future party, Jack.
Yeah.
And these are almost all very conservative, principled, valued people that supported Donald Trump.
When people get into local offices like you're talking about, is it the kind of thing where they have to quit their day gig?
Not usually.
Not usually.
Not usually, not for local offices.
So how does that work, right? So you just won the primary for county commissioner, is that right?
Yes, and I'm going up against a Democrat in the fall. And if I do get elected in the fall, technically it's a part-time job, but it's a full-time demanding job if you're going to do your job correctly. It does pay a salary of about $38,000 a year, Whoa. But you're voting and managing a budget of nearly $800 million across the board for the county.
Wow.
So it takes a full-time effort to go to meetings, to go to commissions. There's a couple dozen commissions that are, elderly commission, there's the women's commission, there's zoning, water commissions, those things that you have to be aware of what's going on. And lots of issues are coming forward.
And you're trying to get the job to manage $800 million for a $38,000 salary. This is the challenge of politics right now. That is an insane. I could not imagine trying to manage a budget like that, and you effectively have to do it for free. You have to really, really want that job.
You got to care about your county, your hometown, the future of your kids.